trade deal.
All right, Andrew, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for those valuable insights. Moving on, in a significant shift, reports are emerging that say US President Donald Trump has announced that the United States will no longer participate in Russia-Ukraine peace talks. The US will stop engaging in shuttle diplomacy and instead push both nations to present concrete proposals for a peace agreement. Here's what the spokesperson for US Department of State, Tammy Bruce, had to say.
While our style will change, the methodology of how we contribute to this will change in that we will not be the mediators. That is what I mentioned on Tuesday, and the nature of how this would change is we certainly were still committed to it and will help and do what we can, but we are not going to fly around the world at the drop of a hat to mediate meetings, that it is now between the two parties, and now is the time that they need to present and develop concrete ideas about how this conflict is going to end. It's going to be up to them.
Well, this comes as Russian drone strikes have hit Ukraine's southeastern city of Zaporizhia. And according to the city's regional governor, Ivan Fodorov, at least 29 people, including a child, were injured after the attack. 10 strikes set buildings ablaze and damaged homes, schools and infrastructure. 3 people were pulled from the rubble. 12 remain in the hospital. Meanwhile, Ukraine's Air Force said it shot down 64 out of the 150 drones. Another 62 failed to hit their targets due to electronic countermeasures. In a separate incident, authorities have arrested a 59-year-old man in Greece for allegedly spying on military convoys. The Greek man confessed to sending photos and videos of Ukraine-bound supplies to Russia. He faces up to 10 years in prison for espionage. The arrest underscores ongoing tensions as Greece supports Ukraine while maintaining historic ties with Russia. All right, Jim Rice, professor of international law, is joining us at this point in time. Mr. Rice, appreciate you joining us. Well, what do you think is the main reason and logic behind America changing its trajectory, its tone, as well as its tenor when it comes to addressing the conflict between Russia and Ukraine?
Okay, thanks very much. It's great to be on. Thanks for having me. Before I begin my answer, and hopefully I'll be more brief than your previous guest, who basically gave a lecture, I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to the victims of the terrorist attack in Kashmir last week. And it's in that same spirit of moral clarity that I wish to say that the Trump administration has not been a fair broker and has been putting their fingers on the scales in favor of Russia and against Ukraine. And so it's not surprising. Trump made ridiculous promises constantly during his campaign that he was going to end the war in 24 hours or less. Obviously, this is not true. And now, given the fact that the reality has set in, they're now trying to apparently save face and walk away from this. Would you like to speak about other issues?
Well, it's also important to understand that, Donald Trump, while campaigning for his presidency, Mr. Rice, was extremely confident that he was the one who could be responsible for ending this crisis. It seems that when Donald Trump gives up, that means the matter is much, much more serious.
Well, Trump has never understood international relations, and let alone he's never understood the issue of NATO, and he has never understood multilateralism. And it seems that Trump is now trying to sabotage not only the negotiations, which he tried to force on the Ukrainians, without even suggesting that Russia enter into the process. So it was all a burden on Ukraine and nothing imposed on Russia. The most recent thing has been two matters that you didn't actually mention. One was Putin's so-called unilateral peace over the Victory Day on May 9th, which is next week, and the other is the minerals deal.
Correct. So obviously,
Would you like to discuss those?
obviously, if the minerals deals is gone through, then we can all forget about the provocation as well as the altercation that got so famous in the Oval Office.
Well, again, I'm not very impressed with the minerals deal at all. I really don't see what Ukraine needs is weapons in order to fight Russia, and it also needs security guarantees from the United States, neither of which Trump administration has offered.
Mr. Rice, thank you for your time. Appreciate your succinct answers.